Hey everybody, Felix Staffelbaker here. I wanted to make a video and point a couple things out because I don't think people are making this connection, and I think that it could clear up so many things that people may be confused about in a structural, organic way. And basically what I want to get to the heart of is that EOS is the new trade in the world, and that data, electronic data, is the new opium. And at first that might sound pretty outlandish and pretty crazy, but if you look, there are companies all over that are willing to do anything to collect data on you. They're willing to do anything at the expense of themselves to exert that data in a way that they've learned can be weaponized and be used to get you addicted to things, to steer you towards things, to control you. And that's not even some sort of hyperbolic statement. If you go back to the very beginnings, you had Queen Elizabeth I of England. When she first tasted opium, it was game over for the entire British Empire. It just took a while for that to trickle down. She immediately began trying to get as much of it as possible, and also use that as a means of control, use it as a means of leverage with other countries in order to make lopsided trades and become what we know as the British Empire today. I mean, if you go back all the way to 1581, there was a charter known as the Turkey Company, where the Ottoman Empire was literally trading opium with Britain. And there was also, in 1583, there was the Venice Company, and they were trying to get in on the same type of thing, doing trades across the known world at the time, and making the British the top wealthiest people in the world, because they were able to secure opium trades and deal it to the masses. And the problem with a lot of royalty especially is they get high on their own supply. So you can imagine like Zuckerberg going over the top, even to a certain extent Elon going over the top. But then in 1592 you actually had a merge of these two conglomerate trading empires that were dealing opium across the world, basically from Turkey to China to Britain. And they formed the Levant Company. And the Levant Company was chartered, like I said, in 1592 by Queen Elizabeth I. And then later that rolled into what we now know as the Dutch East India Company, which most people think that the Dutch East India Company is one of the oldest companies in the world, which it is, but it was formed in 1602, so it was a little late to the party. Kind of seen what the Levant Company made up of, the merge of the Venice and the what was it? And the Turkey Company. And the Dutch East India Company was able to form a monopoly because the other charter had ran out, and they were able to use their influence and their power learned over the time of the opium trade to be able to capture the globe and secure financing what would later roll into modern day companies. That wealth never went away. And as you know, the Dutch East India Company became the East India Company, and they were roaring through the world up. The East India Company was really late to the party. It was like I think it was like 1874. So the East India Company is what most people go back to as far as one of the oldest things, if people really actually study history, but it goes back much, much further than that. And that literally, securing that opium, as soon as the queen had tasted that, had to have all of it. It was a pure mechanism of control and everything. And I see data now, digital data on you being collected as you perform tasks on social media, as you do whatever you do in the electronic world, leaving a data stream for companies like Meta and Twitter and all these companies. Then they can sell out to other companies we know, such as Cambridge Analytica, things like that. But if you look, like EOS, and to some certain extent Bitcoin, but EOS is the data collection center. It is the model for the digital framework world to be able to collect data and to have a permanent record, as well as it makes a lot of sense if you think of data in today's world as opium in the old days. I mean, how many people are addicted to their screen at any age? It doesn't matter. There are weaponizations of the digital space under like heavy scientific abilities and techniques that make you addicted on purpose. It's not something you did wrong. You were basically giving a digital drug and you got addicted, and that's just the way that it is. But I really see EOS as the new opium, as the new data source, and those who control that and those who are a part of that are going to be the new wealth, are going to be the people who control the future, can steer humanity, and ultimately I see this as all-encompassing. I know it might sound pretty out there right now, but especially with the way things have gone, but I don't think people are making this kind of connection. And if you can make that, this will clear up a lot of things. I mean it's just EOS is the new East India Company, or the new opium trade monopoly. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Staffelbaker out.